Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Dynamo video. In this one, we are talking about Thursday Night Football, the Titans at the Steelers. And for this video, we have 5 really good picks for you guys to consider for this game. On these single game slates for NFL, it's really important to come up with a game script. And if that game script that you come up with actually happens, it's going to be way more likely that you can go 5 for 5 or even 4 for 5. If you are playing a 5-pick slip, but you can also just do a 2-pick slip, 3-pick slip, whatever you want, but game script definitely helps. Also, I got a ton of comments because I didn't post videos over the weekend. I normally don't, but I do post every single day in the paid Discord. And we have NBA back, so a ton of picks, ton of action. We have 5, 6, 7 cappers in there. And if you use code NBA, click the subscribe button, type in the code, you're going to get 25% off. You're also going to get access to the projections. All 3 of those hit yesterday. Also, one of the cappers absolutely went crazy yesterday. Went 3 for 3, 2 for 2, and a 4 for 4. All their slips hit. And we've brought together all the best cappers in various sports for you guys. So definitely check it out. Also, if you're only playing on Prizepicks, you're leaving a ton of free money on the table. 100% deposit match up to $250 on Thrive. Plus, for this game, they have a free special on George Pickens over a half receiving yard for new users who deposit at least $25. They also have higher payouts on Thrive and different props than you will see over on Prizepicks, so definitely check it out. It'll be linked down below. My first pick for this one is going to be Derrick Henry, and I'm actually going to the receiving yards. 12.5 is just super low, and I'm taking this one. The last 3 games has hit it, but they say he has 17 against the Falcons, but be wary of these numbers over on Prizepicks because I did look it up, and ESPN says he had 21 receiving yards. And what we actually love to see is the 4 targets, 4 catches. I think with Will Levis back there, they're going to set up a lot of plays to get the running back involved in some short, easy catches, and we saw that last week. So I think Henry's in a good spot here, but it is 21 versus, I think it said 16 or 17 on Prizepicks, so I've noticed Prizepicks does mess that up sometimes somehow. I also checked it on Pro Football Reference, and they say the same thing as ESPN for 21, so not sure what's going on with that, but always make sure to check those before locking in your bets, because sometimes they're not accurate. I don't know why. So coming over to Outlier, we can look at this one for Derrick Henry. Sportsbooks have it pretty even here, minus 115. Derrick Henry's hit this in 7 of his last 10 games. In a tough matchup, didn't get a catch against Cleveland, but even in some tough matches, Atlanta, Baltimore have good defenses. He was able to hit this. I think he's going to have a big receiving day here. Pittsburgh is also ranked 24th in receiving yards allowed, and this one opened at 13.5, so getting a 1-yard saving on this, which is actually a pretty big deal when the line is this low. So we're going to lock in Henry for the first pick here over 12.5 receiving yards, and then we're going to go to the quarterback, Will Levis, over 202.5 passing yards. Going to take that one. He had 234, I think, in the first game, so hit that one. Steelers give up, like we saw, are ranked 24th in passing yards allowed in the league. Also, to check injury reports, I like to come over here to DraftKings and just open up a DFS slate, and you can get all the news in one spot. So Tannehill out, Hopkins questionable, and it seems like to me he's going to play if he's ruled in, which I think he is based on this update down here. That's a lot of words that I'm not going to read. I think he's in, and we could see this prop go from 202.5 a little higher in every pick you see in this video. If the line has changed, I do post these picks in the paid Discord before the video comes out, so you can get in on these lines, and you can use code NBA for 25% off of that. So going with Levis here, there's not a ton of stats to back this up because he's only played in 1 game, but hit it pretty easily in that 1 game, against Atlanta. Pretty tough matchup, I would say. Atlanta has actually a pretty good defense. Steelers, not so much, especially against the pass. So going with Will Levis. For the next pick, we're going to use a tool over here that has a free trial, OddsJam. They take props from sites like Prizepicks and even Thrive over here, and they compare it to other sportsbooks and then give you their top picks of what are going to hit. So Nick Folk over 5.5 kicking points basically just needs to make 2 field goals, or he could get 1 field goal and 3 extra points. And a lot of these sites like it. Minus 140 over here on Fliff. minus 134 on Barstool. So a lot of them really like it over here. So we're going to lock in this pick as our odds jam pick of the day on the over. And I was hyping up having a game script for single game slates like this, but I haven't even talked anything about it. So let's get into that now. We can see over here, Titans at Steelers. The Steelers are 2.5-point favorites with a really low total, 36.5. I think this one's going to go higher than that. This total implies that it's going to be something like 19-17 that Pittsburgh's going to win. I think, it could go. I could go either way here, Pittsburgh or Tennessee winning the game, but I think it's going to be more like 24-21, so a lot higher. 44 total points instead of a pretty low here at 36.5. So a lot of these picks are based on me thinking that there's going to be more scoring in this game. I'm excited to watch both these quarterbacks, Pickett and Levis. I think they're going to have pretty good games. All right, so now we got 3 Titans picks. We're going to come back with some Steelers picks now. And the first one we got here is going to be Hayward. And Connor Hayward is the leading tight end now on this team. So we're going to him. Over on the catches, you could also go to receiving yards. I do like catches a little better because he's not like a big play tight end. He's kind of a slower tight end, but he should get a lot of short passes. Pickett, to get him into the game, they're probably going to have, some short passes to the tight end, things like that, similar to Will Levis for these young quarterbacks that aren't super confident throwing the ball way downfield all the time. Going with Connor Hayward. In his last game, he had 5 catches with Freiermuth ruled out. So if you guys didn't know, Freiermuth is on the IR now. The last time he played was in week 4. So Connor Hayward over here, if we look at him, sportsbooks like this one, minus 133 on Caesars to go over 2.5. And Outlier does have a free trial, a bunch of cool things you could do to look at stats for your picks. One of my favorite things here is you can look at the games played and see which games this has hit in. So he's hit in the last 2 of 3, but we can also go games where he played without Pat Freiermuth, which is pretty cool to look at. And you can see that is just the last 3 games, and he's hit this in 2 of 3 with hitting 5 in his last one. So getting a little more comfortable back there. So going with Connor Hayward. I might have called him Cam Hayward. I think that was another older NFL player. For the next one, though, we're going to Naji Harris, and we're going to go over 8.5 receiving yards. 8.5 just seems super disrespectful to me for Naji Harris, especially because he's known as kind of a do-it-all running back. A tough matchup here against the Titans, but I'm actually liking this one. Started off the season terribly as far as receiving yards and actually, rushing yards as well, but looking him up on Outlier over here, the over on 8.5 receiving yards, minus 120 on DraftKings, so they do like it a little bit. We could see his last game had 42 receiving yards, 15 the game before that, 32 against Houston. Early in the season, it was brutal. Tough matchups though. Niners and Cleveland are going to be really tough matchups for running backs. Also versus Baltimore. Baltimore was tough. I think this is a better matchup for him over here. And we could see receptions and targets. So last week he was 5 for 5 with targets and receptions, 3 for 3 the week before that. So they're hitting him on some easy catches here, and really he probably just needs 1 catch. You can also come over here and go longest reception. So he had a 13-yard catch and an 8-yard catch versus LA, 32-yard catch versus Houston. Looking at him in 2022, he hit over this in 9 of 17 games, and most of his longest receptions in games were, looks like 9 yards plus. So, basically he should be able to get it done with 1 catch, but I think he's going to have 2, 3, 4 catches in this game and easily smash this. It's probably my favorite pick out of these 5, to be honest, and that's the 5 that we have for you guys. So if you enjoyed this one, went all our picks from 5, 6 different cappers. We have it every day now with NBA, NHL in full swing, and still going hard with the NFL. Use code NBA, get 25% off the monthly or weekly plan. It's going to be like 50 cents per day if you use that code. Also, if you're not on Thrive, you're leaving free money on the table. Same thing as Prizepicks, but they have higher payouts, 100% deposit match, free square for this game for new users who deposit $25 or more. So definitely check Thrive out. It'll be linked down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, Check out the NBA video for today. It's probably going to be out and be one of these end cards here at the end, so click on that one, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in another video.